There he is. Good afternoon, Saul. Tony Royal. Welcome in, welcome in. Let me just get this post going. Dude, this music is upbeat today, huh? We're flying. Just like the market, just like DC's. Love to see it. What a great start to the day. Despite oil being up, which was like panic inducing there for a minute, although it's backing off. It's backing off a little bit. It's like, okay, DCs are coming. We got to slow our roll here on the oil front. Okay, let's get this going here. I think I got everything set up. Maybe I should turn off the music though. Even though it's really upbeat. All right, the song just ended anyway. Perfect. Perfect. Very cool. All right. And here we go. We're live. Oh, look at that. I have no webcam. That's funny. Huh. I wonder how that happened. Well, I mean, is this fixable? Maybe it's fixable. Should take a look. It's the one thing I didn't test. Uh, just give me one second here. Maybe if I like turn it off and turn it back on. Isn't that how this stuff always works? Nope, that's not the right thing. How about this one? This one? Oh, I bet if I like reinitialize it, deactivate, activate. Did that do it? Oh, it did. Look at that. I'm pretty good. I'm getting better at this stuff. All right, Jonathan, welcome in. Dude, first day of school for me too, man. Listening in today? All right. Welcome in, Mr. Paper Trader. Very cool. That's so cool, man. I'm very excited about that. I feel like I'm more excited about that than I should be. My son, I have a 13-year-old son. He also has a non-paper trading account, although he just uses mine. I make trades on his behalf essentially. He started with a $200 budget. He bought Amazon and he has swing traded that a few times, but he sold it at like 250, I think. And now he's sad that he didn't get back in it. He hasn't touched it in a while. But yeah, he did pretty good actually a few times here. I think he's up. I think he's up to like 280. Had he just held it, he'd be at about the same. Good morning, Nim. Welcome in. Uh, he has a Roth. Oh, very good. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't look. You got to learn a little bit. I think the paper trading is a good idea. I like that. That's a good idea. And TradingView does paper trading competitions too on occasion. So like even better if you want us to get involved in that way. I think that's awesome. I wish. Well, I was about to say I wish more people did that, but I wish more people were generally involved in their investments than okay. I, let me compartmentalize this a little bit. I wish more people took control of their own financial futures and invested in things, not even actively, but just like more people invested in the market and the 401ks and stuff. But then, yeah, it'd be good. It'd be nice if more people in general were interested in the market. It's always surprising to me how few people that like you talk to at a party or something have any idea about investing at all. I have very few real life friends that I can talk to about this stuff. Chucky, welcome in. I don't think I've seen you in here before. You lost 500K from Rigetti, and you're full of regretty on that one, aren't you? I feel you, dude. I'm sorry. I don't want to like from 2K. Wow. Okay. Well, at least you're still up. I think. It sounds like you're up. Hopefully, I'm reading that right. But yeah. I personally don't touch quantum. Got to be careful with quantum. I mean, they had a run though for sure. It's just look at this big old Head and Shoulders. I don't know. I don't know. Be careful with that one. Be careful with that one. We do have some people though in the Discord that I know are like into quantum. I just don't see it personally. Like, and this is a big old head and shoulders on the monthly. Look at that. Can we hold? If we hold through the entirety of August, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine, and up we go, right? Like if we can hold there. But there's risk back down to the 50 on the monthly if we drop. And this is a decision point. But we're not here to talk about quantum today. No, we're talking about CoreWeave, which is back on the up and up. And this is kind of interesting. The monthly is not long. It's funny. It's like a giant bull flag on the monthly. Actually, that I'm looking at it. I wonder what the 3 month look like. I know there's not a good reason to look at the 3 month, but if you did, doesn't it kind of look like a big old bull flag? Is that not crazy? Do you guys see what I'm seeing here? Should we draw it? It's gonna bring up my older drawings. I need to like let's just delete these for now. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. Those can stay. I don't even remember what those are for. We'll find out when I zoom back out. But like, hey, what does a bull flag, bull pennant look like? And where are we right now? Is this the breakout? This is the 3 month chart. So like this goes April, May, June, July. Yeah, this actually just started. This is the new one. It's kind of crazy. William. Wow. Okay, that dude, you got a name I can't even say. Welcome in. Fairly new, made a few gains and a few losses. Sounds good. Holding on to losing, or let's say negative positions. Well, what are the positions? Let's take a look. If you let me know, we can take a look. Good morning, Four Gunner. I hope you're having a safe drive to work today. But yeah, the big news today is obviously DC's reported out yesterday and today. We could take a little look-see at what's going on here in the earnings correspondent. Let's start with yesterday. Yesterday evening, we had Lumentum, which is I think they're a photonics company. Oh, it's Light. It's Light. Dude, I didn't know that was their real name. Obviously, they're crushing it here. This is awesome. They hit the 1 billion mark. That's a big deal in revenue for a quarter. That is a big deal. Your applied shares getting called away from this rally, dude. That's not a bad thing if you're making money on them. Am I trimming any of my profit today on CoreWeave? Great question. Well, let's take a look. So we'll skip Supermicro for now. We'll go back to that. But CoreWeave, first off, let's just talk about the numbers here. They beat both earnings and revenue, which is actually really good. Okay, so like let's take a look at what's happened on all of the earnings over the last couple of weeks. What have you noticed was the trend? We're beating usually on revenue, but we're usually losing on EPS. And the fact that CoreWeave beat by a fairly significant margin, despite being down year over year, that's fine. We know they're making big investments and all that. And revenue and EPS up quarter over quarter, super meaningful, but maybe even more. It's important to know that they are talking about big gains in supply and demand. The supply is still limited, but they're at the forefront, and they're because of the supply and demand, they're able to charge more. I was reading that they've got a 25% price increase they've laid out there, and they're getting paid. It's not, nobody's going away from this. Now that means that our tokens are going to cost more, I'm sure, for anyone who's using AI. And if you're wondering why they seem to be getting stingier and stuff, this is probably a big reason for it. But like overall, this is super bullish, super bullish. So to answer your question on CoreWeave, am I trimming? Well, I did naturally cover at 120. Actually, I don't know why I don't have that drawn up here. I think I did it on one of these spikes way back here, and we covered at 120, which will be, if called away, it would be called away here. So let me just fix this up right. 120, 120, there we go. And I love this. I love this play because my cost basis on these are high. Honestly, they're a little high. So full disclosure, I don't always pick the bottom. It doesn't happen every time. In fact, I was pretty happy getting in over here, as it looked like we had broken out from this big old wedge. But we're still in this other channel, right? So there's a million ways you can draw this stuff. But anyway, in this position, I have shares that I hope get called away at 120. That would be a great way to trim profit. If not, I'm getting paid, and now my shares are worth a lot more. But also, if they get called away, I have a significant portion of CoreWeave X, which is the 2X ETF. Now, I don't honestly, not financial advice, do your own due diligence. I don't necessarily recommend this for people. However, a lot of people say, like, don't you feel bad when a stock blows through your strike? Well, number one, I covered way, 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 way out here. Oh, actually, you know what? I did it here. That's where I opened it. It was on the run up. And this is fine to me. This getting called away at 120 is above cost basis and feels good if we were to see this disappear on Friday. If it doesn't, I'm still happy. I've lowered my cost basis by a couple of bucks, and on 600 shares, 500 shares, whatever, that's pretty nice, right? That's a good improvement, at least $500-600. Not to mention the overall growth of the stock anyway. But if we do blow through here, I have some upside protection in the CoreWeave X2X ETF. So where's CoreWeave X? It's over here. It's up 42% right now. And my cost basis here, this isn't correct anymore. That was correct, but I've averaged down a little bit. So it's probably in the 30s, something like that. No, actually, no, it's not. It's 29.50. I looked earlier. And again, bought in a little too early there. But if we go through my 120, we are capturing that upside with CoreWeave X. So, and I think I could show that here. I don't, does it? Yeah, here it is. Here's CoreWeave X. So this is my position. So you can see it fully transparently. It is 29.23 is the average cost basis on that. And so that helps me feel a little bit better about profit running through my cover. So all good there. All good there. But hopefully that answered your question. So wondering, should you roll your applied calls to 32 and 33.50? Your cost basis is 26.5 and 29. Let's take a look at applied. So right now it is opening at 32.07. That's what the chart says, Foregunner. I know you can't necessarily be staring at it right now. Drive safe. So your question is rolling your calls at 32 to 33.50. So no matter what, you're above cost basis. And yeah, you know what? I would probably look today to roll if you can get a net credit. I think you're a fan. You sold, yeah, okay, that's fine. I think you're a fan of Applied. Um, so you're going to struggle to roll the 32 already because it's hit. Well, if it goes much further, if we have any dip at open, you might be able to get yourself a nice little post IV crush roll to next week for say a buck, something like that, which is a 3%. I mean, maybe you can't get a dollar. If you can get 50 cents to roll it out to say 35 for next week, I think that's a good spot to be. I think that's a good spot to be. And then your 33.5 is you've got a little bit more time. If it runs up all day, you might want to set an alert at 33, something like that. But overall, yeah, I mean, if you like the stock, there's nothing wrong with rolling it out. The other potential is just averaging a little bit if you've got that if you've got the dry powder. Hey, Petornik, I think I actually said your name right. If you took a loss on the main stock, buying the 2X won't trigger a wash sale. I believe that's true. Yeah, double check though, because that is a important question because it's a similar underlying. Look for a dip or buy a call for next week and exercise it. Yeah, all options, all options. Now, my guess is the calls are going to be quite cheap or quite expensive right now, depending on what you're looking at. There should be some IV crush, so if you wait a little bit, but at the same time, IV expands with excitement, right? So you might have to be careful there. Can I take a look at the CPI data that just came out? Yeah. Let's take a look where we got it today. I haven't looked at this in a minute. CPI forecast was 33399, came in 33392. Prior was 33395. So we can call this generally flat, cool, I guess. And that's good. That should be good. That should be generally bullish across the board for us. Let's take a look at SPY real quick to see if there's any reaction there. And there is. When I checked SPY earlier, we were at 0.2 and we're at 0.4. What? a half hour later, I think that's a good sign that that is looked at as a bullish development. So good stuff on that one, Tony. And I think this is something that we've been waiting for in the. We were talking about. Bob Dog was talking about this actually in the Discord this morning. Of if CPI is cool, things are definitely good for us. Just see if there's any update on that. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So now chance of September rate hike plummeting, now at 32%. Super bullish for us. So very cool. That's that. I appreciate you calling that one out to check and take a look on because that's good news for us. Short term and midterm, long term, whatever. We'll see. Rates will be what they will be. But right now, the general sentiment is super bullish. And I was just going to say that's probably going to make these stocks pump even more. And CoreWeave now up over 20%. Nebius also, by the way, let's get back to earnings here for a moment. And Nebius also had really good reporting numbers for the DCs, which is lifting all of WIGMI, which is the DC ETF. I swear that's how it has to be pronounced. The WIGMI ETF is up 6%. If you've been averaging into this, you've been doing quite well. This is if you don't want to pick one and you don't know which one to pick, you can buy WIGMI, which is a representative ETF of Bitcoin mining companies specifically, but most of these are now data center plays. And if you look at their fund options or fund holdings, you'll see Cypher, Iron, Hut, Keel, all this stuff. Nebius is in there, CoreWeave's in there, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi just crushed on earnings as well, I read. So, yeah, DCs should be flying today. I'd be surprised if they cooled off. I actually think they will continue to run. Now, some of you may have read or watched my podcast that I was on last week that released on Sunday. One of the callouts was Galaxy. Super exciting position here, if you ask me. If we look at this one on the monthly, I know they didn't report out on earnings, but I think this is a worthy call since it is developing in the way that we were hoping for. I sold some more puts here to potentially average down. Doesn't look like that's going to hit at this exact moment. It still could. It's still early enough in the week where, things could obviously turn. But if we were to hold above this line here, super bullish for us. And I think we head back 35 potentially, not financial advice, do your due diligence, but that is a target that I'm keeping an eye out for. And I do hold a position, full disclosure, of Galaxy of about 2,000 shares. If this hits, it'll be 2,300. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on today, and we're also seeing some nice support going on in other stocks that we've been keeping an eye on. Oracle, which it did a little back test yesterday, 3-4% day down. That's fine. Little back test though, and looking good otherwise. All right, but we're jumping around here too much. We need to get back to where we were. We talked about CoreWeave. We talked about Light, which is good for Oust also, which also had good earnings. So like if you're in Oust like I am, then you should be pretty happy today with movement. We didn't actually look at Light's stock price though. Let's take a look at that. It is, yeah, all right, good little upside movement here. Not the biggest. 8% is nice, but we're not back to all-time highs quite yet. But most importantly, check this out. That does get us back above all of the EMAs and SMAs, putting us above the 100, which just had a bearish crossover. The 50 crossing over the 100 is generally not a good sign, but those earnings may make this a very short-lived scenario. And if we can make the turn here and stay above this, yeah, very, very good potential. Did they have a like a split thing go on or something? I don't recall their price being this high. What am I looking at? Did they really run up a bajillion percent? I guess they did. It's still, I didn't think they were quite that high. I was in them. There's no way. There had to be some sort of split. That's crazy. Yeah, something happened. I don't know what. Anyway, good for them though. Good result, and I think they'll probably continue to stay bullish here, along with other photo optic. Oust is my uh, optical, whatever we want to call this, electronic technology, whatever play of choice. Optoelectronics, is that what we call it? Whatever. So yeah, looking good there too. But back to earnings. Back to earnings. Supermicro is another one that came out, and Supermicro is one that I was expecting to do quite well. However, there's risk in this one, so I have not been playing it. SCMI, SMCI, SMCI. Feel sometimes I feel dyslexic looking at tickers too much. The reason I wasn't interested in playing Supermicro was this wild convergence of all the EMAs and SMAs, and us being right dab in the middle here between the 200, the 50, and the 100. It was a coin flip, in my opinion. And the problem is they haven't been very good on their accounting side lately. So for me, I didn't want to be a part of the coin flip. But from here, I would think we've got good potential for a run up back to the top of the channel, which, if you've been in it, is a nice little 57% increase. And from here, you still got 45% if it's a company that you're interested in. I still think there's risk. They've been like their offices were raided in Taiwan or something, right? Something ridiculous. I'd be careful here if I still think there's a risk. I still think there's things that can come out that can make this play go awry. Good morning, Green Cheese. Welcome in. Welcome in. What did you play? You made money on CoreWeave. What else? Nebius too? Did you play Nebius? I can't remember. But yeah, this is overall. I mean, it's been a fantastic set of earnings. And then we have Kava, which is the food business, right? Kava. I never play Kava, but again, I know a lot of people who are in the Discord are in it, and that's cool. That's cool. No shade from me. This is the entirety of their chart, and they're down. Oh no, I'm sorry, they're up. They're up pre-market. They're up dramatically. Wow, look at that, 17%. That's pretty wild. Um, I guess they had really good earnings, huh? I didn't even look. Why is it gray? Why is it gray? So the reporting is revenue's up 30. Well, we just looked at it. It's right here. Revenue is up significantly year over year, 31%. And quarter over quarter dropped. But we beat the estimate. So interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Kava is a business that I don't understand, so I don't really mess with them. But it's the Mediterranean fast casual restaurant brand. I mean, any fans of Kava out there? Let me know. Should I start eating it? Is it good stuff? All right, so you did. Oh, you straight won everything, green cheese. SMC. Well, because everything beat. Oh, sorry about that. It's itchy. I almost ripped out my headphones. Everything beat today, so I don't think you can lose, right? SMCI and yeah, so we're up. SMCI is up significantly. You look very safe there. CoreWeave 73.71. I mean, forget that. You'll never see those numbers ever again. I don't think. Okay, it's CoreWeave. We probably will. Can I do an analysis on Netflix? Yeah, buddy. We did Netflix also on the podcast. If you haven't watched, plug that again. I think it's a good listen. But yeah, Netflix is definitely a monthly chart we want to look at here, and I will, again, full disclosure, I was too early here. I got in thinking that we had a run, and it was just a little bounce before we found the strong support here. Unfortunate for me, but still plenty of opportunity for money to be made. Now, on the monthly here, it looks quite solid. We hit the support line, and we're at the bottom. We're not at, we're getting close to the bottom of the channel right here, as you can see. And this channel has held since 2012, which is pretty crazy. That's a 15-year channel, well, 14-year channel. But with that in mind, yeah, this has been a line of very strong resistance, and then support, and then support three times in a row here. So like long-standing support and resistance is kind of what we look for on these big swing trades. Now, if we were zooming in a little bit, we would say, look at this. This is an ugly tweezer, right? Not like the tweezer we want to see. Actually, the monthly probably looks, no, actually doesn't look much better. 2 week. Oh, the chart's frozen. Well, we're asking too much of it. Slightly better looking on the 2 week, but whatever. On the weekly, you can see we're back above the 200. So we did dip below for a couple of weeks, but we're, again, strong support here. And from here, strong support again. We're testing off the 8 EMA. I think there's a high probability that we back test off the 200 here potentially. So yeah, you could get in on Netflix. I got in with Leaps, and that's where I ended up getting out of those. If I were to do this again, I'd probably still do Leaps. Shares are fine. I think shares are fine. Um, but Leaps had a lot of nice upside potential for, if we go back to all-time highs, that's a significant appreciation on Leaps, obviously. So something to consider. Good morning, Swirled Frequency. Can I look at Keg? Yeah, we'll look at them in just a minute. But Tony, yeah, I think it's a good entry point, honestly. I think if I were to do this again, maybe I would look at it in terms of shares. This way, I wouldn't feel so bad about holding in a dip. That's because there is potential that we dip all the way down to 60 here. Unlikely, but potential. And if we did, that would be normal. That would be, look at that. That would be a point of support. Again, support and resistance on like the shorter time frame here. Boom, boom, boom. So like this is in play this week and next week. So I'd probably have a little bit of patience here before I picked an entry, or maybe better, if you're doing shares, go with the patented Theta Daddy approach of if you want 100 shares total, get 25 right now, 20, get a fifth, and next week get another fifth, and the week after get another fifth. Regardless, you'll be. I've found that you're happier, or at least personally, I'm happier, even if the stock goes down, which I'm doing with Bros right now. We looked at Bros. I'm doing with Bros, and I bought some at 50 or 51. I have a limit buy-in today for 49.50, which doesn't look like it's going to hit, but if it does, cool. I'm not going to buy any more until next week. But if I can get it at 49.50, that's a price that I think is fantastic. And I will, but I'm only buying 25 shares at a time, which for me is a very tiny position. And but I'm kind of like looking forward to accumulating it at a better and better price. And if it goes up, you know what? That also feels good. Those shares still go up. So something to consider. Good morning, Scaboni. You missed a little bit today. We're talking about DCs being up almost 20% or 20% at times this morning. All right, let's take a look at Keg. CEG, Constellation Energy Company. We're in this little wedge formation coming out of the ascending channel that we had been in for quite some time. So a little painful to watch us fall out of that, of course. But if we're talking about actual growth here of 1,000%, seems fair. Seems fair that we take a breather and consolidate a little bit. And this is the weekly, so just to clarify. And if you didn't know, I always look at this on log, so just heads up there. Okay, today, look at this. We're opening at the top of the wedge, pretty close to it, testing off of that's the 34 EMA, 34, yeah. And the 100 and the 50 are above us, looming above us. So a lot of resistance above us to potentially break through here, and it might be difficult for us to break through there. So I think this one needs a little bit of time to play out to see directionally where we're going. And you can see we are definitely, if you look at the volume here, I'll bring it up. You can see like over the last few weeks, you know, this is a good indicator of consolidation when you see this kind of directional trend on the volume. I think you would agree that would be the trend line if we were to draw one, just since kind of like breaking out here. And even if you go further back, it's probably something like that. Maybe a little flatter because of these spikes, but you get the idea of this is definitely a consolidation phase. Probably looks pretty good on the monthly too, if I were to draw that. Yeah, yeah, about the same. So if you're in it, I think it's just a patience type of deal. We have the 200 SMA coming up on the weekly for support. But it's going to be out in next year for this to actually reach up here. I don't think we're dropping. It doesn't feel like we're going to be dropping below that at all anytime soon. We could, it's possible, of course, but overall, it feels like a consolidation phase with, likely by the end of this wedge, we've got some breakout opportunity. I would think to the upside. I don't see any reason that it wouldn't. I mean, they're issuing dividends, which is always a strong indicator of company health. Market cap looks very healthy at 100. I mean, PE might be a little high. Let's take a look at PE. 26. That's honestly, it feels pretty reasonable these days to have a PE at that range. And dividends, what was the last dividend payment? 42 cents? Whatever. It's fine. I mean, dividends aren't what they used to be, right? But I think that's fine. They're paying out. I don't know if they've only increased dividends over time. Does that actually show here? It probably does, right? It looks like, yeah, they've only increased dividends. Again, good sign, good for shareholders. Probably a fine stock to own long term and just kind of hold on to. I'm not sure if we take a look at like beta, it's low beta. I'm probably not buying or selling options. I'm also probably not looking at leaps at this point personally, but it's looks like a stable stock to just buy and hold. If you were to ask me, Will to the fee. Good morning. Can I look at CMG? Chipotle, is it giving you heartburn? We could take a look at that. You got it swirled. Hopefully that's a helpful view for you. Chipotle, they are up slightly. Are they? Did they have earnings recently? We're on the weekly. I feel like they had it last week, didn't they? Or 2 weeks ago? Oh, it looks like yes. Let me move my volume back down. Yeah, they had fine earnings. Yeah, in fact, they ran. Oh, yeah, they gapped up. Okay, I remember this now. They gapped up and then they dropped like a rock. Why did they? That's surprising, actually. Was there news here that I didn't know or see? 20% drop from spiking up. Chipotle IQ returns with more than 1 million in free Chipotle, plus new daily streaks. Was there news? Oh, jalapeno recall, salmonella outbreak. Is this doing every Trump is doing everything to make America sick again? That's hilarious. Interesting. I don't know what's driving that, honestly. It looks like regardless of what it is, there's a nice little double bottom here. So I wouldn't panic about it. Are you long Chipotle? Do you have a shares, or are you looking at leaps, or what do you got going on? Another spineless American. Oh wow, that's a name. Jeez, I feel personally attacked. Bad lettuce, dude. What happened? So the lettuce thing, by the way, I kind of heard about it. I know that there was like Instagram Reels, probably TikTok. I don't know. I don't use that stuff really. I didn't even see any, but like people were talking about it enough. And I was at a lacrosse tournament, and we got Jersey Mike's, which is a local chain, or probably a national chain. I don't know. But anyway, I got like a tuna salad sandwich, and I was like, nope, I'm getting extra lettuce and just eat. I ate it in front of everyone. I'm like, oh, the lettuce is so good. People cringed. They were like, "What are you doing? You're gonna get sick." I'm like, "No, I don't think so. I don't think any company is staking their reputation on bad lettuce at this point. Like the news is old already. We should be okay." They did not. Yeah, nobody found that funny but me, by the way. That's okay. As long as I make myself laugh, I don't care. What's your calls? You got calls? Swing trade until September. Where did you get in at? Here or at the top? That's the question, because that's going to change my take on your position here. Taylor Farms again on the outbreak. Oh man. Well, okay. So here's the thing. I think when this happens, yes, this is an immediate drop, but like realistically, is this the reason people are not going to buy Chipotle? Again, there's other things that you just get the burrito bowl without the lettuce, okay? Or get a burrito without lettuce. It's all good. It's fine. Put in more peppers, I guess. I don't think and there's so many sources of lettuce that I find it hard to believe that this is going to be more than temporarily impactful, if that is truly the driving force for what happened here. Um, let's see if there's other news that kind of coincided with it. If we go back to that's April, July, there's nothing really. Like key facts. So yeah, jalapeno recall. I guess that does have some impact on Chipotle. Minimal, I would guess. Again, like I feel like you can just buy jalapenos somewhere else. Is it like Cholula where there's only one? manufacturer of all the jalapenos in the US? I don't think so. Cholula, by the way, like literally, it's one pepper that comes from one farm, or at least it was. Maybe that's changed. Qdoba, is it Qdoba or Qdoba? Received jalapenos linked to salmonella. That was 6 days again. 6 days ago. Uh, I mean, this is temporary, dude. This is so temporary. It looks like a buying opportunity. Bottom yesterday. Oh, good call. That good call. That's kind of what I would say. I think I would. I'm not buying any. Okay. And there is definitely some clear resistance dropping below the 50, 100, 200, all of the EMAs and SMAs. But like at the same time, this 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 feels like a buy the dip opportunity for sure. I think this arrow stays personally. And again, honestly, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, fake low. I think we keep going up. There's not one, but Taylor Farms linked to both the lettuce and jalapeno thing. Aha, aha, good to know. Nim says lettuce is stupid anyway. Like if I wanted a salad, I would have ordered a salad. Well, lettuce is great because it's empty calories, isn't it? Is it one of those like celery where if you eat it, it actually takes more energy to digest it than it gives you? CoreWeave, what's the target? Uh-oh, we got some interest in CCing. Well, I'm already covered at 120, so that's my immediate target. And the reason for 120, back to CoreWeave. I know we're flipping around here. Check this out. Look at this. And maybe this is a better line. The 120 line goes right through. Boom, boom, like historical just support and resistance here. I don't know why I'm swinging it back and forth so much. We could just look at it and zoom in. Resistance, couldn't break it. Resistance, broke it, drop back down. It's been resistance again, temporary break, support. Yeah, this is the line in my mind is 120. Now, can we blast through that? I hope so. And I personally have, as I said earlier, CoreWeave X behind it that I leave uncapped just to capture any missed upside. If these get called away at 120, I'm happy. I'm very happy actually. So we'll see what happens there. But that is my CoreWeave take. Actual foot on the ground. Government's food safety inspectors had a case backlog way before Trump took office. Very short staff, not a bit of visible. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you don't have people who can do the work, it's going to be difficult to do the work. But AI, right? By CoreWeave. CoreWeave is kind of like lettuce if you think about it. What type of lettuce would you imagine CoreWeave to be? No, I think I think CoreWeave is likely to continue to rocket here for a little bit to 120. But this is going to be a real test. Can we break through and hold above? After failing here multiple times, it seems like a point of contention. And the other thing is we had this wedge. This wedge we're breaking out of for sure here, which is nice to see. So we can kind of get rid of that. We don't need to look at that anymore. There's also, I just noticed there's like an inverted head and shoulder looking thing going on here. I don't know if I would say this is, it didn't really fully fill out, but definitely a good spot to be in if you have the stock, which is pretty nice. You sold CoreWeave CC at 109. We're at 109 right now. What are you talking about, dude? What is the odds that you could buy back at 105 by CSP? High? I mean, probably pretty high. Like, as in it will hit. I don't know. You're gonna get paid either way, right? That's gonna be high dollar. That's 105 is a mildly interesting line. I think it's more like 100, that psychological level. But yeah, I mean, it's at this point we're still pre-market. We got 25 minutes till the market opens. We're still pre-market. The volume swings are going to be big here. We don't know. We might open high and drop to the 100, and that would be fine. I feel like that would be a good result for the day. I hope we stay above 100. But like this closing the gap immediately happens often, or shrinking the gap. Um, so it's really hard to say post earnings like that. Basically, we're waiting. We have like this anticipation post earnings, pre market, low volume, everything's all over the place. But until the buyers actually start stepping in full force, and like, look, everybody has access to buy pre-market these days, but the option chains aren't available. All that stuff will become efficient and find us a new floor here, I think. But we won't really know until the day closes. CoreWeave burns a lot of energy, like lettuce. That's fair. That's why we buy TE and CEG and other energy companies that are. What's TE doing? Hey, TE was Saul. You were saying TE was down. What are you talking about? You're making me panic for no reason. No, I know it was down 1.5% there at one point. But for real, like this is why these energy companies are probably good ideas to consider. Now, I still don't know. I still don't know about like the SMRs of the world, which honestly has been doing okay. We're up 36% from their low here back in July, and this is the small modular reactor, nuclear reactor companies. I don't see it. I like the idea. I'm an engineer and I love the idea of nuclear energy. Uh, the regulatory field seems highly risky. If there was ever an administration that was going to make this a more greased skid to go through, this is it. Like, this is definitely the one for them. But can they execute? Can they get there quickly enough? I don't know. And like, if I'm CoreWeave, I open a giant data center with a lot of roof space. Why in Texas, which I don't know if they're in Texas or not, uh, why wouldn't you just cover it with solar panels? And especially if you can get them for like a good price versus untested technology that has this inherent risk of radiation. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Sunil, welcome in, welcome in. SMCI. Yeah, we talked about that one a little bit earlier, and I'm not in it. If I were to CC this, I'd probably be looking at uh, depending on what you could get for premium, anywhere from 36 to 40. We're gonna blow past all the EMAs and SMAs. Oh, actually, let's look at the weekly. Maybe this has okay. Yeah. Okay. So I hold that opinion of the weeklies. We've got 36.92 for the 100 SMA, which is going to drop slightly. No. It's not going to drop. We're within the week. Um, or we have the 37.93 200. My guess is, look. See if we look back in time here. Very strong resistance on the 200. Uh, one, two, three here for sure. Right. Four, five, six for sure. Broke through, fell back. Seven times. That was our key blocker. Um, I would probably think that I would probably look to personally call at 38. No guarantees, not financial advice, but that's how I would come up with a potential cover price. That is also going to depend on like what we could get. I mean, we can look at the option chain right now, but the problem is this is from yesterday, so the options are going to be priced as if earnings hadn't happened yet. God, this is so bright. When? Dark mode, when? I apologize for blinding all of you as well, depending on how you're watching here. But yeah, if you were to look out, like 38 was paying 72 cents, which is, I mean, that's a 2%, 2.5%, not 2.5, two ish, 2.333333, repeating forever, percent ROC on your money, just on the premium alone. And this might be actually the same price post open. So still not bad. Still not bad. I would probably be looking at that. That's my personal take on it. BE is doing good too. Well, it does rhyme with TE, so like I feel like it has to be doing well. And they're all energy companies. Isn't it cool that energy companies do us the favor of putting E at the end of their ticker? I love it. It's like code names. Yeah, they're looking fine. Again, huge growth in the last couple of months, years at this point, I suppose. 3,200%. Well, maybe not quite that much. 2,400% where we're opening here today. And they are looking quite good at open. 10%. Oh, that's not bad. They didn't have earnings recent. I mean, they did have it recently, a couple weeks ago, but I guess they're rallying on the DCs for sure, right? So that does look quite good for them. Um, I would imagine they could run back up to all time highs. They look pretty tied to DC results, and energy constraints are still a thing, as we were just talking about. So I think I'm not sure I would pick any individual, even though I did. I have TE, but it's a very small position. Um, CEG is probably good, and any large player is probably a good play. I would also look to see if there are any interesting energy ETFs where you can kind of spread your risk a little bit. I'm becoming more and more a fan of things like SMH stocks, WIGNI, etc. But yeah, look at QQQ up 1% flat on the money. Look at that. I love it. Heading back to all-time highs there. TE went on a roller coaster up again. We'll take it. We'll take the upside anyway. Shrish, can we have a look at the gold chart? Oh, look at you in gold. So I think a lot of people right now think yes. And I can no longer argue that it is bearish, even though it is on the weekly and the monthly. So I guess okay, I can still argue it's bearish, but as long as we're above this line here, 4,400, it looks fine. It looks pretty good. Will that continue? I don't know. I think gold is a slow moving chart usually, historically. That's why we look at this usually on the monthly exclusively. But some of the bigger bars have been in this recent past for us, and what a run! Like what a run this has been on gold, 200% on gold over a year, a couple years, I guess, 3 years. Pretty ridiculous. Is it a good entry point? Not for me personally. Now, that said, I don't have any plans of like ever buying gold, so I guess take that into consideration. I would only personally buy gold, not financial advice, truly personal opinion. If we do reject here and then work ourselves to a new bottom, and the reason for that is after a run up like this, I would expect more consolidation than we've had. And certainly, like this is probably a point of consolidation. We're wedging a little bit, etc. I personally think gold is something you got to give time to play out. Now, I say that, but I know we have people in the chat right now that are up bigly on gold calls from this bottom. They called it there very well. I think that was a great play. Will it continue to run up? I don't know. Hopefully, I hope it does. I don't have a position. I'm not planning on having a position, so I do. I hope it does. And that this was, to be clear, a very strong point of support and resistance at this 4,000 level. Okay, like very clearly. Look at that. Touch, 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 touch. All of these perfectly. And even this one got pretty close. But I personally, I'm giving this more time. If we were to drop to say this support level right here, I would probably take a position. So say 3,500. If gold were to get back there, then I personally am actually interested to have a position long term. So that's my take. I think it could just continue to go up here. So all good. Oh, what? Tenant Tut is here. Oh my goodness. Am I seeing things? Am I seeing things? You know, I was thinking about you the last couple of days. I hope you're having a good couple of weeks here. Okay, do we need to talk about NEM? Are you gonna rub it in my face? We didn't hit my unnecessarily pessimistic view. We got very close. We got very close. I got an alert here from back here of when I wanted to get into NEM, and we missed. We missed. We didn't call the bottom as cleanly as I had hoped. 85, and honestly CSPs would have been pretty miserable because they would have just never they would have made money, but it would have I should have taken a position. Yeah, this, in hindsight on the daily anyway, this is a pretty clear support and resistance line, right? Resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance. We should have done it there. We should have done it there. Did you buy more? For those of you who don't know, Tenant Thud So is a good OG of the Theta Daddies. Always welcome into the stream, and has some of the most uh, fun lore in our history of ridiculous core weave. You know, you look at CoreWeave today and you're like, oh, that's cool. Tenant Thud played it all the way up this stripe. Like a lot of us were, me in particular, I had like one ridiculous 140 that I'm like, you know what? No, I'm out. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. And I think they ran it all the way to the top, which was awesome. Of course you bought more. Okay, well I'm proud of you. You said you were going to buy more. So you did what you said you were going to do. Congratulations. Congratulations. And welcome back to the stream. It's very good to hear from you. Celsius, Tony, huh? Let's see. How's the Celsius chart looking? It looks good. It looks like we said. Like we said, if we broke back above here and held onto this line for dear life, we're good. We're Gucci, as the kids say. And I think after closing this gap here, we are we're on the upside. I like it. Again, I don't have a position with them, and I'm not sure I'm going to take one, to be honest, because I don't know. So I don't drink it. I drink like the Polar cheap Costco version, whatever they're selling for like 5 cents a can. I'm like, yes, that's what I want, and I don't want caffeine in my water. That's what coffee's for. Uh, I mean, look, maybe if Celsius yellowed my teeth, I'd be more interested, but they don't. So this is just, it's not a play I'm probably going to get into, but like the chart looks good. I think you might have a, it might take a little while. You might be looking out to say like July of next year to really hit the full benefit here, but it's a good hold. Celsius is amazing, but certain lines are banned in Canada. Really? Is it because of the caffeine? Is that like the whole Monster Energy, Red Bull, too much caffeine content? Which is interesting because, like, oh, it was because it's marketed towards kids too. Like, kids were drinking it too much, I think. I don't know. Well, internationally, that is interesting. I don't know much about their international business, and they're but where are they based out of? Boca Raton, Florida. Cool. That's a where it's not that cool. I guess it's quite hot down there right now. It's an interesting location. You know, I didn't actually ever think about that. How global are they? I guess we could look into that, but I'm not going to. I'm not that interested in Celsius personally. Let's take a look at the monthly chart on it though, and make sure that it looks clean there too. And it does. It does. It looks fantastic, Tony. Now, okay, we essentially have a full month that we need to hold on to this, but from everything that we see short term, it looks quite good. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. We have 10 minutes till market open. Let's take a little look, see at the watch list and see how things are going. The what's nice to see is CoreWeave has held and only gone up. Nebius with their great earnings. You're still in Nebius too, right, Tenant? I would hope so. Iron, I know you were. Iron, by the way, still has this giant bull flag thing going on here on the monthly. What does it look like on the 3 month? It must look even better. No, it looks worse. It's still there, but it's just like bring that down quite a bit. It is there though. Um, you're in BE, NBIS, and CoreWeave. All right, very nice. Well, you're having a very nice day, aren't you? Petortic, you'll go through a pot of coffee in a day. Red Bull makes me energetic, but Celsius makes me jittery. Dude, Red Bull gives me heart palpitations. I literally cannot drink it. I'm not going to say it's the taurine. I don't know. It's probably caffeine. So I stopped drinking that a while ago. And I actually like genuinely kind of like the taste of it too. But maybe that's the addiction talking to me. All right, let's take a look though, because I'm getting distracted at SPY. SPY is holding 0.5%. We were up at, weren't we up? Yeah, no, 0.5%. That's fine. QQQ was the one at 1%. So again, CPI was good news. SPY is opening at all-time highs. Yeah, just about, just about. We're opening at 774. All-time high for SPY right now is 776. So just a couple bucks away. And again, this could be a clear bull pennant here. Maybe not clear, but bull pennant that we could see a breakout. This is a good place to be. I like to see it. I like it a lot. QQQ over 1%. Once again, at heading towards all-time highs. But this is also kind of a funny spot. We're at this like this looks like pretty clear support and resistance right here. I think this is a big level to break above today potentially and hold. And if we can do that, yeah, I think from there it's all-time highs. And this was our concern about correction. Looks like those concerns were unfounded, thankfully, because nobody wanted that. And IWM, the other big index to take a look at, is opening at all-time highs. All-time high for this one was, what do we got? 303.06, and we're opening pre-market at 302.98 within a dime. I think that counts for being at all-time highs, right? I would have to say so. So again, also very bullish formation here, which is really good. Oops, somebody's hitting the like button. Thank you. I see the little hearts fly up. Can you see it when I do that? Oh, it stopped. Never mind. It catches my attention though. And then we've got a couple of other things to check out. Bitcoin, what are you doing? You're still sideways. I think was it Cantonese? Oh, somebody else said it. Okay, there you go. Now you can see the heart set I see. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hitting the heart button. I don't know if that does anything, but I appreciate it. Bitcoin though has been going sideways, and one of the swing traders I follow on TradingView, which by the way, if you didn't know, you could follow me on TradingView. There are thoughts that maybe we're at a bottom. We're forming a bottom here, and this swing trader is one that also looks at the monthly, where it looks like if we look at this, we have this support and resistance line that has turned into support at this point, actually, believe it or not, even though we've kind of fallen out this very pretty channel that we've been in. Now, we could cheat a little bit here, and maybe we say something like, "Oh, this was really the channel." I don't, I don't know. That seems a little disingenuous, doesn't it? So I'm gonna undo that. Did I undo it? There we go. But yeah, this could definitely be a nice point of support. Now, green cheese, I know you're looking at 43 or whatever ridiculous number that again, I hope we don't hit. I have to say though, like this number feels more like the bottom to me as well because it just goes so far back multiple times. Super strong resistance again, and then very strong support. And if we can hold it here, I feel pretty good. And maybe this is the line actually. Maybe this is even cleaner. Yeah. So I guess there's risk to 58. But overall, like we bounced. Is it a dead cat bounce? I don't know. I don't know. But we'll find out. This is the clear resistance, by the way, of what we are having to work through to make this a long-term breakout for us. BTC. Why you gotta be like that? Yeah, Cantonese cat is also bullish here, which is awesome. I haven't, by the way, plug for that guy, I guess. Not that I have any relationship with him at all. But I enjoy his super long-term view. Like I look at monthly charts. Dude, Cantonese cat breaks out yearly charts, which makes sense for certain things. But it's crazy to like think that far out, but it makes sense. And I said this recently in a video of how in the podcast actually that I was on last week. Go watch it if you haven't. Like look, a daily candle has all of the minutes of the day in it, right? A weekly candle has all of the days of the week in it. So there's more information in those candles. The same could be said about the monthly having more information within each of its candles. And yes, they tend to be bigger because of that, because they cover more time as well. But that also works on the 3 month, and which is another chart that you'll see Cantonese cat break out here. Like, look at that. It still works. It's still, there's nothing wrong with it. It still works. And yes, you can even look at the 1 year. And even in that situation, even Bitcoin still kind of works. It's a much smaller chart. There's no 200 SMA, obviously, because we would be so far into the future. That's like the year 2200 in order to get a 200 SMA here. For sure, these all have great meaning behind them. And like generally, it's still bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So, I still look at this in a very favorable manner when I look at the chart. But the plug for Cantonese Cat is I think he's releasing a book or like a video series or something on teaching people TA. And he does a lot more in-depth stuff than I do. He'll look at the Ichimoku, he'll look at Gan squares and all that. I don't get into most of that. I will look at the Ichimoku on occasion. He does fibs and all that too, which I'll do too. But check him out if you're into like really learning a lot of that stuff. It's fine to update lines with new information. So you're so kind. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. We'll see. This could work out in a way where it makes sense. But it's also kind of floating in space there right now. So we'll give it some time. The yearly thing is sort of strange because it's like an ETF argument applied to everything, but then why not just do an ETF? But Bitcoin is the ETF, isn't it? Like, doesn't everything ultimately go back to Bitcoin? All roads lead to Bitcoin still to this day. Like, I've never seen something people are like, yeah, F is the technology and this and that. It's like I hear about that argument all the time, but like at the end of the day, everyone looks at Bitcoin, right? Growth stocks have to win over ETFs because of the risk reward ratio. Well, that's exact that goes with what we're saying, actually, doesn't it? With the like F having to overcome Bitcoin to really get that performance in. So I don't know. Yeah, well, and also yearly is tough to look at just because of we measure ourselves yearly. But I wonder if you were to ask Warren Buffett today, or when I don't know if he's still all there to be honest. He's like 100 years old. Like if you were to ask him a couple years ago if he valued the yearly chart, I wonder if he'd be like, dude, I've looked at the decade chart. It's possible. Not that many bars there, I guess, but talk about like a long investment time frame. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. All right, last couple things to look at today. VIX, by the way, has stayed calm. We had the single VIX call that is currently down 20% or whatever. It's a single call for like $90. And the goal was, oh my goodness. Oh, now you all know that I can never remember to turn this off before the stream starts. And I always get messages then. But this is costing me $20 at the expense of my port going up like 10%. So I'm cool with that. We'll take that all day. That was going to be like our consolation gift if things went awry, which is interesting because oil was going up earlier, and the Iranian conflict was not looking too bright yesterday, for that matter. So, but here we go. We're getting into open in a couple of minutes. Things look great. Defense and space also still look quite good. ASTS up 1%. Rocket Lab. What is Rocket Lab doing? Let me get back to this. Well, let's just look at NASA. NASA is an ETF that I do enjoy. And it's up a percent and a half. So yeah, things are looking good on the space front as well. What is down? I know I don't want to depress anybody, but we got Adobe is dropping back off after unsurprisingly testing the 200 and then out. Baba doing some similar stuff here. We for those of you who joined me, we're super happy. This might be my most precise play ever. I don't think I can repeat it. So don't get too excited when I open a leap that this is going to happen again. We open leaps at the bottom, we close leaps at the top. Ah, you love to see it. But yeah, it does look like we're doing some back testing here. Now, Baba, I don't know. I'd have to look into that a little bit on why that might be happening. ACN that was running is dropping back a little bit. These are all healthy. These are all, look how far extended they are from the 8 EMAs. Shopify. Oh, are you 10? Are you still in shop? Shop's been really nice too. I got out at 120 again. I debated getting in. I didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. Kind of wish I did. And Palantir, everything that's been running up like a psychopath is taking a little breather. And again, that's all healthy, all healthy. So looks like we're having a great day today. Shop forever. Okay, okay. I thought so. I thought so. His approach can't be applied to the modern stock market. So you say that. I don't know. People said he was crazy when he said companies were overvalued, and then we had a big drawdown on growth stocks. And I think he was right. I think he was right. All right, look at this. Iron up 10% with the sympathy. I love it. 11, 12%. Very nice. Galaxy 8%. Oh man, I kind of want to look at my port already and just be like, look at green numbers everywhere. Having a great week. Every ticker in your port is green. Yes. You know what? I'm proud of you. in particular because you didn't capitulate, and there was some scary times down here. So good job to you. Stop by. Don't be a stranger. Say hi. All right, everyone. Market's open, and I gotta check some positions personally. Thank you for joining me today, and this week in general. A lot of new regulars, a lot of new faces stopping in. It's good to see everybody. If you liked it and you're new and you haven't already, maybe hit the subscribe button. There's a little heart button. Some of you already hit. I appreciate that too. And again, I don't know if it does anything, but thanks for coming in. See you next time. And yeah, take care of yourself.